December 18th, dear Mr. Tushman. I am very, very sorry for hitting Julian. I can't tell you why I hit him, but it was very wrong. I know that. I am writing a letter to Julian, too. Yours, Jack Will, December 18th, dear Julian. I am very sorry for hitting you. It was wrong of me. I hope your mouth is better soon. Yours, Jack Will, December 26th, dear Jack. Thank you for your letter. It was wrong to hit Julian, but I think that I understand a little. Lawrence Tushman. Hi August, it's Jack. I want to say sorry. You're angry with me and I know why. I said something stupid, but it's not true. I don't think that. I'm sorry. I got your message. Did Summer tell you? She said, Halloween mask, and I guessed. Did you really hit Julian? Yes, in the mouth. Why? I don't know. Did he say something about me? Julian's a jerk. I'm really sorry. Please, can we be friends again? Okay, great. I went back to school in January and things were very strange. The first kid I met was Amos. Amos is not one of my friends, but he's always been friendly to me. I said hi, and he looked at me and walked away. Then I saw Henry and said hi, but he walked away. It was the same with Tristan. Have I got the plague now? I thought. The girls talked to me, so the problem was with the boys. Only the two Maxes and August talked to me. Then at lunch, nobody sat with me. I went to the library and read a book. I found a note in my bag at the end of the day. Meet me in room 301 after school. Charlotte. Charlotte was waiting for me. Jack, I feel bad, she said. You need to know something, but don't tell anyone. Promise. Julian's parents had a huge party at Christmas. They invited 200 people, parents and kids. Julian talked to everyone and complained about you. You hit him because you have problems in the head, he thinks. And that's because you're friends with August. It makes things very difficult for you. What? I said. And Julian's mom isn't happy with the school. It's not the right school for August, she says. Because he has difficulties with learning, he must leave. But August is fine, I said. He has no difficulties. You know that. I know, she replied. And Julian talked to the boys. They won't talk to you. That's okay, I said. They're not my friends. Charlotte opened the door to room 301 and looked out. There was nobody outside, and she left quickly. The next day at lunch, I sat down at a table with Tristan and Pablo. They stood up and walked away. Hi, Jack. It was Summer. She and August were sitting at their table. Sit with us, Jack, she said. I told them about Julian's holiday party. He has turned the whole class against me. People don't talk to me. It's like I'm not there. Welcome to my world, said August. One evening, I was at August's house. We were playing video games. His sister, Via, came up to his bedroom. August, I have a friend. I want you to meet him, she said. The friend was a cool boy with glasses and long hair. He shook our hands. This is Justin, said Via. Cool room, said Justin. He was carrying a long case. Is that a machine gun? I asked. Justin plays violin in a Zydeco band, said Via. That's music from Louisiana. You should tell people that's a machine gun, said August. Are you Via's boyfriend? Via smiled and pushed August's hat over his eyes. Via and Justin left the room. I looked at August and we laughed. Chapter 7. The Violin. Justin. I started going out with Olivia 2 months ago, and I really like her. She told me about August before I went to her house, but the first time I saw him was still a big surprise. He was with a friend, Jack. I shook their hands and tried not to look at August's face. "Is that a machine gun?" Jack asked me. He was looking at my violin case. "Are you Via's boyfriend?" asked August. Olivia pushed his hat over his eyes. We left the room and I heard them laughing. "What do you think?" Olivia asked. "About August?" "Yes." "Nothing," I said. "Cool kid, I think." "A lot of my friends don't want to come to my house," she said, "because of August." "It's no problem for me," I said. "I'm not frightened." Olivia's parents invited me to dinner at a Mexican restaurant in Amesfort Avenue. I was nervous. I got to the restaurant and saw them all inside. Her dad got up and shook my hand. Her mom hugged me, and so did Olivia. And August high-fived me. I really liked her parents. We talked a lot, and they asked about my music. They wanted to come and listen to my band. My parents never talked to me like this. My parents don't live together, and they aren't interested in my life. After dinner, we went back to Olivia's house for ice cream, and I met their dog, Daisy. Her family says, "I love you a lot." Nobody in my family says that. Olivia and I were both in the school play. I had a big part, but she only had a small part. The biggest part for a girl went to that girl with pink hair, Miranda. Olivia was okay with having a small part, and she helped me to learn my words. I had a lot of words, and I only had 6 weeks. One evening in March, we worked on my words for the play. I was leaving Olivia's house at the same time as Jack. "Justin," said Olivia's mom, "can you walk to the bus stop with Jack and wait for the bus with him?" "Of course," I said. We walked to the bus stop. "You don't need to stay," said Jack. "I can wait by myself." "That's okay," I said. We got to the stop, and there were 8 minutes before the bus. "Can I borrow $1?" he asked. "I want to buy some candy." I gave him $1, and he crossed the road and went into a store. 3 boys were walking past, and they saw Jack. He came out the store, and they followed him, making strange animal noises. Jack came back to the bus stop. "What's happening?" I asked him. "They do it all the time, because of my best friend." I understood. It was hard for August, but it was hard for Jack too. The bus came and Jack got on. I walked down the street and turned the corner. The 3 boys were there, laughing and eating ice cream. I remembered Jack and August talking about my violin case. I took off my glasses and held the violin case like a gun. Then I walked up to them. "Listen, you 3, I said in my James Bond voice. "Stay away from Jack or you may have an accident." I looked at my case. "Understand?" Some ice cream fell to the ground. The boys didn't speak. I walked away quickly and didn't look back. One evening, we were working on the play at school and I was talking to Miranda. "How long have you been going out with Olivia?" she asked. "About 4 months," I replied. "Have you met August?" "Do you know Olivia's brother?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "Olivia and I were good friends at middle school. I know August well. The world has been cruel to him." Chapter 8. Hearing Aids. August at school, the war went on into February. Only 1 or 2 kids spoke to Jack and me. We got a lot of notes. There were notes to Jack, "You smell of cheese, nobody likes you," and notes to me, "Freak, get out of our school." It was worse for Jack than it was for me. They took his bag or stole his homework. But in March, things got better. Some of Julian's friends weren't helping him anymore. Then Julian told a really stupid story. Jack found a hitman with a machine gun, he told people. He came after me and Miles and Henry. This was the end of the war for most people. They stopped playing the plague game too. One day I was talking to Maya and Ellie. Maya had a bag with a picture of an ugly doll on it. Did you know, I asked, that they used pictures of me to make the first ugly doll? For a minute they thought it was true. Then they looked at me and laughed. You're so funny, August. The next day I found a very small ugly doll on my chair with a nice note. To the best August doll. Love, Maya. People were nice about my hearing aids too. I have never heard very well and now I needed hearing aids, but they were horrible. My ears are very small so the hearing aids can't go inside. They go around the back of my head so now I cannot wear my hat anymore. I'm not wearing these, Mom, I said. Wait, said the doctor. I'll turn them on. Wow. The hearing aids were great. I could hear everything. The day I wore the hearing aids to school for the first time, I was worried. But it was okay. Summer was happy because I could hear better. You look cool like a secret policeman, Jack told me. Via was in the play at her school. She told Mom and Dad only a week before it started. With my new ears, I heard everything. Why didn't you tell us before? Asked Mom. I don't say anything in the play, said Via. You don't need to see it. But Justin has a big part, said Mom. Can't we see him? No, I don't want you there, she replied. Then they started talking quietly, and I couldn't hear them. Later at dinner I asked, Are we going to see Justin in a play? Dad's going, said Mom. It's not a play for children, so you and I are going to stay home. I don't believe you, I said. We're not going because Via doesn't want me there. She doesn't want her friends to see a freak. I ran to my room and shut the door. After an hour, the door opened and Via came in. August, she said. Come quickly. Mom needs to talk to you. I'm not going to say sorry, I said. It's not about you, said Via. It's about Daisy. She's very sick. Via was crying. In the kitchen, Daisy was on the floor. Mom was next to Daisy, and she was crying too. I'm taking Daisy to the animal hospital, Mom told me. And I don't think she's coming back. She's old and she's very sick. You need to say goodbye, August. The taxi was in the street and Mom carried Daisy out. Goodbye, Daisy, said Via, kissing her. Goodbye, little girl, I whispered in her ear. The taxi drove off and Via hugged me. We were both crying now. I went to bed every night and thought about Daisy. It was hard without her. I cried a lot and Via cried too. A few days later, Via came home with 3 tickets for her school play. I want you all to come, she said, and she hugged me. It was my first time at Via's big new school. I sat between Mom and Dad and looked at the program. There was a big picture of Justin and another one of Miranda. Why isn't there a picture of Via? I asked. Justin and Miranda have important parts in the play, said Mom. Via is an understudy. What's an understudy? Sometimes an actor gets sick. Then they have an understudy to take their place. The play started. Justin came out with his violin, wearing old clothes and a hat. This play is Our Town by Thornton Wilder, he said. The town is Grover's Corners. We begin with a day in our town. It's morning on May 7th, 1901. I knew that I was going to like this play. It felt adult and not for kids. A little later in the play, there was a girl called Emily. I knew that Miranda was playing Emily, but I couldn't believe it. It wasn't Miranda, it was Via. I loved the play, and Via was wonderful. At the end, everyone was clapping. Then Justin and Via came out. Everyone stood up and clapped for a really long time. After, we went to find Via. She was in a big group, and everyone was smiling and laughing. "Wow, you were wonderful," Dad told Via. He gave her a big hug. Then Mom hugged her. Mom was so happy that she couldn't speak. "It was a surprise to see you," said Dad to Via. "I know," said Via. "Miranda got sick and I was her understudy." Then there were lots of people around us, and for a minute I lost my family. "Via?" I shouted. "Mom!" "August," said a voice behind me. I turned. It was Miranda. "Good to see you, August," she said, and she hugged me hard. Chapter 9. The School Play, Miranda. My dad left my mom the summer before I went to high school. I didn't see him much after that, and I didn't really want to go to summer camp. But I did go, and it wasn't fun. After I got home, I called Ella, but I didn't call Via. Ella is an easy friend. She doesn't talk about families and problems, just music and clothes. Via is different, and I didn't want to talk about my parents and their problems. Ella liked my pink hair and my new clothes. I knew that Via didn't. In high school, Via and I didn't talk much. We just said hello. After a few weeks, I discovered that Via had a boyfriend, Justin, a cute boy with glasses. They were both doing theater with Mr. Davenport, and I was too. I wanted the part of Emily in our town, and so did Via. I was surprised that Mr. Davenport chose me and not her. Strangely, I started to miss Via and her family. I liked her family, and I loved playing with August. One day I called Via's house. I wanted to talk to August. "Hi, August." "Miranda." His voice was happy. "I'm going to school now." "That's great." I was surprised. "I hope it's going well." "It is. I have 2 new friends, Jack and Summer." "That's good, August. I miss you," I said. "You know that I'll always be another big sister for you. Call me if you want to, okay? And say hello to Via from me. I miss her too." "I will. Bye." Bye. Mom and Dad didn't come to see the play, and there was a big school soccer game that night, so Ella and my other friends went to that. It was evening, and we were all ready to start. I watched people come into the theater, and then I saw August and his parents. I went to see Mr. Davenport. "Mr. Davenport, I'm sorry," I said. "I can't go on tonight." "Miranda," he said, "you're just nervous. You'll be okay." "No, I can't go on. I'm sick." "Okay," he said, and he turned to Justin. "Justin, please find Olivia. She's going to be Emily tonight. Miranda's sick." I went to the dressing room and took off my costume. Via came in. "Quick," I said. "Put this on. I'm sick. I can't go on." Via put on the costume, and she looked at me. "You're not sick, Miranda. Why are you doing this?" Mr. Davenport shouted through the door. "2 minutes, Olivia." There was no time to answer. I saw August after the play. "Good to see you," I said, and I hugged him. Then I saw Via and her mom and dad. "How are you?" asked her mom. "Are you sick?" "I'm okay now, I think," I said. "We're going to a restaurant," said her dad. "Please come with us." Via hugged me, and we all walked out of the theater together. I was suddenly very, very happy. Chapter 10. The Camp, August. Every year in spring, the 5th grade of Beecher Prep goes away for 3 days and 2 nights on a camp in Pennsylvania. The kids sleep in cabins in the forest. There are campfires to cook on and long walks in the forest. We were all excited, but I was also a bit nervous. I've never slept away from home. I've only been in hospital, and then Mom or Dad stayed with me. Mom helped me to get ready the night before the camp. We chose my clothes, and she put them in my bag. "What if I can't sleep?" I asked. "Take a book and a flashlight." She put them in and closed the bag. "Is it too heavy?" she asked. "No," I said. "It's okay." "Time for bed now," she said. "It's only 9 o'clock. The bus leaves at 6 in the morning. On the bus, I sat next to Jack. Summer and Maya were in front of us. Miles and Henry got on the bus, but Julian didn't. "Julian's not coming," I heard Miles saying. I was happy. 3 days without Julian would be great. Everyone on the bus was happy and laughing. We got to the camp about 12 p.m. and put our bags in our cabins. There were 6 kids in my cabin. Jack and me, and Reed, Tristan, Pablo, and Nino. After lunch, we went for a walk in the forest. The trees were huge. We looked at birds and animals. With my hearing aids, I heard the birds really well. In the evening, we cooked on the campfire. I loved it, the fire and the dark trees and looking up at the night sky. I was so tired that I went to sleep very quickly. The next day in the forest was good too. Then in the evening, we went to another camp for a movie. There were also kids from other schools. We bought food and drink, and Jack, Summer, Reed, Maya, and I all sat together and talked. Suddenly, the lights went out and the movie started. In the middle of the movie, Jack kicked me. "Hey, August," he whispered. "I need the restroom." We went toward the restrooms. There were lots of kids walking around. Some were buying food and drinks. There was a long line at the restrooms. "I can't wait," said Jack. "Let's go into the forest." We walked toward the trees. We passed Miles, Henry, and Amos. Miles and Henry weren't talking to Jack, but Amos said hi. We were in the trees now, and suddenly we walked into a group of 4 boys and 2 girls. They weren't from our school, and I guess they were in the 7th grade. One of them pointed a flashlight at us. "What school are you from?" asked a boy. "Beecher Prep," answered Jack. Suddenly, one of the girls started shouting, "Oh no!" "A freak! A freak!" shouted one of the boys. The light was on my face. "Let's go," said Jack. He started to walk away, but one of the boys moved in front of us. He was a lot bigger than Jack. "What's the problem?" asked Jack. "Your boyfriend's the problem," answered the boy. Jack took my arm and started to push past the big boy. The boy stopped us and pushed Jack to the ground. "Hey," said a voice behind us. "What's the matter?" The big boy turned and pointed the flashlight toward the voice. It was Amos. "Leave them," said Amos. Behind him were Miles and Henry. "More freaks," shouted the big boy. "Jack, August, come with us," said Amos. Jack got up and we started to walk toward Amos. Then the big boy pulled my sweater and I fell onto a rock. My arm hurt badly. Amos ran at the boy and hit him hard in the stomach. Someone pulled me up, but another person pulled my sweater again. Then we got away and we ran out of the trees. The bigger kids didn't follow us. "We lost the jerks," said Henry. "You were great," said Jack. "Thanks a lot." "No problem," said Amos, and he high-fived Jack. Then Henry and Miles high-fived him. And then they all high-fived me. "You hurt your arm," said Henry, looking at it. "It's okay," I said. But it wasn't. It really hurt. "Wait. Your hearing aids are gone," said Jack. We all looked for them, but it was dark and we couldn't see anything. "It's okay," I said. But that wasn't okay either. I wanted to cry. We walked back toward the lights. Amos was on my left and Jack was on my right. Miles was in front and Henry behind. Chapter 11. Graduation, August. The next morning, Mr. Tushman and some others went back to the forest. They looked for my hearing aids, but they didn't find anything. "The school will pay for new hearing aids," Mr. Tushman told me. "And we want to find those boys too. Maybe one of them has your hearing aids." The bus took us back to school. Mom met me and she talked to Mr. Tushman. Then we walked home together. Mom didn't ask me many questions. It was sad without Daisy at home. Mom hugged me quickly and said, "I missed you, August." "I missed you too, Mom. I'm sorry about the hearing aids," I said. "Don't worry," she said. "Mr. Tushman told me everything. But are you okay?" "I'm fine. Jack really helped me, and Amos and Henry and Miles. It's strange because Henry and Miles didn't talk to me all year at school." "People change," said Mom. Then the door opened and Dad and Via came home. Dad was carrying a box. In the box was a cute little black puppy. The cutest puppy I ever saw. I stayed home the next day with Via, and we played with the puppy all day. It was great to be with Via, talking and laughing. And our puppy was so cute. The next day, I went back to school and suddenly everything was different. Everyone knew the story of Jack, Amos, Miles, and Henry and the big 7th grade kids. Now everyone liked Amos, Miles, and Henry. And they liked Jack and me too. And Julian? Nobody was friends with him anymore. In June, the day before the last day of school, Mr. Tushman called me into his office. "Sit down, August," he said. "Has it been a good year?" "Yes, it's been good," I said. "You've studied very hard and you're one of our best students." "Thank you." "I know things were difficult with Julian," he said. "How did Mr. Tushman know that?" "Yes, a little," I replied. "And there were some horrible notes." "Yes," I said, "I know." He said, "Did Mr. Tushman know everything?" "Julian is leaving the school this summer," he added. I didn't say anything. He stood up. "Thank you for a good year, August," he said, and we shook hands. "See you at graduation tomorrow." "See you tomorrow, Mr. Tushman." Graduation was in the theater at Beecher Prep Upper School. We all wore our best clothes. Our families and friends were sitting at the back. I sat with Jack and Summer. Mr. Tushman spoke for a long time, and then some other people spoke. I didn't listen to everything. But then we got to the medals and Mr. Tushman was speaking again. "The medal for best student goes to Jimena Chin," he said. Jimena went up and got her medal. Charlotte got the medal for music, and Amos got the medal for sports. I was really happy for Amos because he was now one of my best friends. Then Summer got the medal for English. Everyone clapped and they all went up to get their medals. "There is one more medal," said Mr. Tushman. "The Henry Ward Beecher Medal. This medal is for doing something really important for the school. This student has helped a lot of children in the school. He helped them to understand important things about friends. We have all learned from this student. So, August Pullman, please come up and get your medal." I couldn't believe it. Everyone stood up, clapping and shouting for me. I walked toward Mr. Tushman in a dream. I'm just an ordinary kid, I thought. But I did finish 5th grade, and that's not easy for anyone. Mr. Tushman put the medal over my head. "Well done, August," he whispered. After graduation, we walked back to our house for cake and ice cream. Jack and his parents, Summer and her mom, Justin, Via, and Miranda, mom and dad. I walked behind everybody with Mom. "Thank you for sending me to school," I said. "Thank you, August," she said. "For what?" I said. "For everything you've given us," she replied. "You really are a wonder, August. A wonder."